Hello dear students, welcome to the video lecture series created under Professional Learning Community of Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. I am Sanjivkumar Siddul, working as an assistant professor in physics under the Department of Humanities and Sciences, Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. In this video lecture, we will study the nuclear fusion reactions. These are the learning outcomes of this video lecture. By the end of this session, students will be able to get acquainted with the nuclear reactions, types of nuclear fusion reactions, that is proton-proton cycle and carbon-nitrogen cycle. Student will be able to differentiate between fission and fusion reactions. These are the contents of this video lecture. The reaction in which an external bombarding particle successfully changes the identity of a target nucleus is known as artificial nuclear reaction or simply nuclear reaction. We know that the nuclear reactions can be classified into two types. First, nuclear fission reactions, and second, nuclear fusion reactions. We also studied what is a nuclear fission reaction. Can you recollect it? Yes, the division of a heavy nucleus into two approximately equal parts along with release of a large amount of energy and neutrons is called as nuclear fission reaction. As an example of nuclear fission reaction, we extensively studied breaking of uranium-235 nucleus when it is bombarded with a neutron. One of the most probable way of splitting the uranium-235 nucleus into two nuclei is that of into barium-56-141 and krypton-36-92 nuclei. This reaction involves with release of 3 neutrons and nearly 200 mega electron volt energy. We have also seen how this reaction is useful to get desired electric power using nuclear reactor. Now in this chapter we are going to study the next class of nuclear reactions, that is nuclear fusion reactions. A nuclear fusion reaction is the process of combining or fusing two light nuclei to form a relatively heavier and stable nucleus. Similar to fission reaction, these are also exothermic reactions because total mass of reactants is greater than total mass of products. The energy released by sun or any other stars is due to fusion reactions only. As these nuclear fusion reactions are temperature dependent and they occur at a very high temperature, that is about 3 into 10 raised to 7 Kelvin, they are also called as thermonuclear reactions. According to the scientist Bethe, there are two sets of thermonuclear reactions. First is the proton-proton cycle or PP cycle, and the second one is carbon-nitrogen cycle or CN cycle. Let us see these reactions one by one. The first reaction is called as proton-proton cycle because in the first step of this reaction, there is combination of two protons. Let us see this PP cycle step by step. To understand the animation, keep in mind that here red spheres indicate protons, black spheres indicate neutrons, small white spheres indicate a positron. In the first step of PP cycle, two protons, 1H1, combine to give a nucleus of deuteron, 1D2, along with release of a positron. In the second step, the nucleus of deuteron, that is 1D2, combines with another proton, that is the third proton, to give a He23 nucleus, which is an isotope of helium along with release of gamma ray. In the third step, two such He23 nuclei combine to give a stable nucleus of helium He24 with release of 2 protons, that is 1H1. For this, the above two reactions should occur twice. Thus, we can say that initially 2 protons combine to give 2 nuclei of deuteron. Then each deuteron 1d2 nucleus combines separately with other 2 protons separately to give He23 nuclei. Finally, these 2 He23 nuclei combine to give a stable nucleus of helium, that is He24 nucleus. In summary, the resultant reaction can be written like this. 4 protons fuse to give a stable helium nucleus, that is He24, with release of 2 positrons, 2 gamma rays, and during this entire reaction, a total energy of 25 mega electron volt is released. Now let us see the second type of nuclear fusion reaction, that is carbon-nitrogen cycle. In this cycle, carbon and nitrogen will act like catalysts. In the first step, the stable nucleus of carbon C612 combines with first proton 1H1 to give a nucleus N713, which is an isotope of nitrogen. This nucleus of isotope of nitrogen N713 is unstable and radioactive. It immediately disintegrates into a nucleus of isotope of carbon C613 along with a positron. In the third step, the nucleus of isotope of carbon C613 combines with second proton to give a stable nucleus of nitrogen, that is N714. Now, in fourth step, the stable nucleus of nitrogen, that is N714, combines with third proton to give a nucleus of isotope of oxygen, that is O815. This nucleus of isotope of oxygen O815 is unstable and radioactive. It immediately disintegrates into a nucleus of isotope of nitrogen N715 along with a positron. In the sixth step, the nucleus of isotope of nitrogen, that is N715, combines with fourth proton to give stable nuclei of carbon and helium, that is C612 and He24. During the entire reaction, a total energy of 25 mega electron volt is released. Therefore, the resultant reaction can be written as the 4 protons fuse to give a stable nucleus of helium with release of 2 positrons, 3 gamma rays, and energy of 25 mega electron volt. Now let us discuss the differences between fission and fusion reactions. We know the division of a heavy nucleus into approximately 2 equal parts is known as nuclear fission reaction, whereas the combination of 2 light nuclei to form a stable and heavier nucleus is known as nuclear fusion reaction. In case of fission reaction, the binding energy per nucleon will turn out to be 0.8 mega electron volt, whereas in nuclear fusion reactions, the binding energy per nucleon will turn out to be 6.5 mega electron volt. The nuclear fission reaction is linked with neutrons, whereas the nuclear fusion reaction is linked with protons. The nuclear fission reactions can take place even at room temperature. They are not temperature dependent, but nuclear fusion reactions takes place only at very high temperature, that is 3 into 10⁷ Kelvin. Hence, these reactions are temperature dependent. We also know that the nuclear fission reaction involves with release of intense neutron beams and gamma rays. Hence, nuclear fission reactions are polluted reactions. But nuclear fusion reactions doesn't involve any such release of the pollutants. The controlled self-sustained fission reaction is possible in the form of nuclear reactor. But controlled self-sustained fusion reaction is not yet possible in the form of nuclear reactor. Open-ended or uncontrolled fission reaction will result into formation of nuclear bombs, which are also termed as atom bombs, while the open-ended uncontrolled fusion reactions will result into hydrogen bomb. We see that the nuclear fission reactions normally doesn't occur in nature, but nuclear fusion reaction is termed as the source of energy of the universe, as all the stars involve the nuclear fusion reactions, just like our sun. These are the references used for this video lecture. Thank you.